Hello, everyone, and welcome to your CBSN Denver Daily Sports Line, brought to you by BetMGM. Place your parlays, props, and futures with the king of sportsbooks. Download the app today, and if you've been following along with us, you know it has been a good couple of days here on the CBSN Denver Daily Sports Line. Last night, we had Jason Scott from BetMGM join us. He told you he liked the Nuggets in the first half. That cashed. I told you I liked MPJ points and rebounds overs. Both of those cashed. The Nuggets minus 6.5 cashed as well, and then Nikola Jokic to get a triple-double, which was Lions boosted yesterday at plus 280 cashed as well, despite the fact that Joker didn't even need to play in the fourth quarter. So it has been a good couple of days. We're excited about it, and I'm excited to bring in my buddy Ben Cary from capwise.com right here in Denver to talk some NCAA tournament. Ben, glad to have you on with us as you look at the entire slate of NCAA games in the first round. Give me some games that stand out to you as things tip off in earnest tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so I know we can just jump right on into it with the upsets because it's March and people love the upsets. There's a few teams that I'm kind of eyeing to play the spoiler Cinderella role in the first round, and I think one that I'm not hearing a lot of chatter about, and this is Eastern Washington.
Yeah,
team out of the Big Sky, of course in Northern Colorado's conference, but they're a very experienced team. And Kansas COVID issues. They have some key players who will be out of this one, and I believe they're only going to have one practice headed into their matchup. This Eastern Washington team doesn't turn the ball over that much, and I know you have Bill Self on the other side, but arguably this is his worst team he's had in 10 years. So I think the Eastern Washington Eagles could be an upset in the first round.
And Ben, let's be honest, it wouldn't be the first time that Kansas went into the tournament and lost in the first round to a double-digit.
Was that Bucknell, right? One year, yeah.
As a former Missouri Tiger, I love bringing up those moments for the Jayhawks. Hey, let's talk about CU and Georgetown. Obviously, a game that fans can see on CBS Saturday morning. This line has been really interesting. The Buffs actually getting a nice little boost here. It's kind of the money's come in on CU a little bit, even though there's a lot of people who like Georgetown to maybe pull the upset after what they did in the Big East tournament. When you look at this game, BetMGM has the line at CU minus 5.5. The total's at 137.5. What do you like, if anything, about this game?
So a lot of you may know Tad Boyle is 1-4 all time in the tournament. He's had some bad appearances, early first round exits. Having said that, though, I actually really like this matchup with Georgetown, and taking a look at some of the other 12 seeds in the tournament, I actually think the Buffs got a good draw here. And I know we're going off name recognition here at Georgetown. We think of Coach Thomas, Patrick Ewing. But as far as this team goes, they went on a nice run in their tournament, and they got in by winning their Big East tournament. But other than that, though, I look at like a Santa Barbara team who's a 12 seed or Winthrop. I would actually rather play a Georgetown for the Buffs than one of those two teams. I think this is a good matchup for them, and I like the Buffs at minus 5.5. I think they win this one close to 9-10 points, and the difference here is McKinley Wright. I think McKinley Wright leads this team to the next round. They would potentially have a tough matchup in the next round with Florida State, but of course, the Buffs have to take it one game at a time. But I really like the matchup here. I think that the Buffs can get their shooting back, and they're not going to go, what was it, 7 for 17 or whatever it was from the free throw line. That was like 1 in a million based on how they were.
That was their worst. It was their worst free throw shooting night of the year in the Pac-12 conference title game against Oregon State. That's not going to happen again. We know that.
And if they win the Pac-12, they're at least a 4 seed. So of course, you could say that about a lot of teams, but I think the Buffs as a 5 seed are one of the strongest 5 seeds. I see them advancing and covering that spread.
And I actually think, Ben, going back to that Pac-12 title game, the fact that they lost that game kind of opened their eyes a little bit, right? They know they didn't play well, so I expect them to rebound. I'm with you. I like CU to get the victory and to get the cover in that first round as well. Ben, as you look at the totality of the NCAA tournament here, BetMGM has Gonzaga at minus 175 to just win the region. I love that pick, and I also love Illinois at plus 150 to advance to the Final Four as well. Where do you like anything from the futures aspect?
Yeah, it's hard to put money on Gonzaga just because during the season they were actually at a plus 700, and that number's long gone. But I still think they have the easiest route to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Their next round matchup would potentially be Oklahoma or your Tigers. But, most likely they're going to be favored by 10 to 12 points in that matchup, regardless who they play. They'll probably end up playing Florida State in the Final Four. At least that's what I think. I know that region down there is crazy. I think there's going to be some crazy upsets there. But overall, I like Gonzaga. The value isn't really there, though, as much as what you could have gotten earlier in the season. But a sneaky team that I like the value at is San Diego State. San Diego State's probably anywhere from 50-1 to 60-1 at that MGM. But this is a team that has some key players that can lead their team or lead the Aztecs to a deep run. Matt Mitchell is a guy who will probably be playing in the NBA. They play good defense. They can shoot the three ball and they rebound. Kind of a sneaky team out west that I think can make a run. So other than that, I personally think Gonzaga wins it all, though.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's probably the way this is going to go. I do like Illinois to maybe give them a run if Illinois can get to the championship game and beat Baylor in the Final Four. I think we're set up for some really, really good games over the next couple of weeks here. Hey, Ben, you guys are doing some awesome things at Capwise, including your March Madness betting guide. Complete breakdowns on every single team in the tournament. Tell people about that and how they can get their hands on it.
Yeah, so our March Madness guide available for purchase. If you use promo code UPSET, you can get 50% off. I know we're about to start the tournament, so I'm going to give a discount there. But we have you covered from key players, key stats, betting stats. We have simulation scores. We have fun facts, head coaching experience in the tournament. Everything you could ever want. Each team has one page, and it's just a great overview getting you ready to place your bets for the tournament. So
it is great stuff, jam-packed with information. I had a chance to scroll through it over the last couple of days, man. It got me hyped for the tournament. Really looking forward to it. Ben, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. That's going to do it for your CBSN Denver Daily Sports Line, brought to you by BetMGM.